What's happening, everybody? Whew. Welcome to Barnabas Brushes. My name is Patrick. I play the character of Barnabas Quint on the Elite Encounters Pathfinder 2nd Edition live play. On the Elite Encounters channel, you can see the banner up there and the preferred or recommended channels below me. We play over there every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern, but also tonight we have a very special episode of Elite Encounters, the Villain's View episode that will kind of take us behind the scenes of what's going on with one of our characters in Soul Severed. That's going to be happening at 6 o'clock Eastern tonight, right after this show. So as soon as we're done painting here, we're going to bounce right over and see what's going on with our friend Cyril. Sorry for the technical difficulties off the top. I'd like to blame my cat, but I can't. She's too good. It was my computer. It was my computer's fault. But anyway, we're back here at Barnabas Brushes. We're here every Monday painting My Miniature Mondays, which is a show where I paint any of my commission miniatures or personal miniatures that I need to get done and get off my shelf of shame, my gray army collection, you might say. And then I'm back again on Wednesdays at 5 o'clock Eastern to paint miniatures, exclusively, primarily for the Elite Encounter shows. Speaking of shows, we have a very special announcement. We have a brand new show starting up Monday, March 10th at 6:30 Eastern. That's going to be a brand new campaign with brand new characters, brand new cast members. We're going to have a great time playing Paizo's 2nd Edition Pathfinder Adventure Path, Bloodlords. So yeah, be sure to tune in for that. Very first day, very premiere episode will be happening March 10th at 6:30 Eastern. I'll be your host and GM, and I can't wait to get behind the screen and tell a new story here at Elite Encounters. So please, if you're watching, tune in. Stop biting me, cat. I'm not laughing at the show. I'm laughing at my cat. Anyway, what we're doing here tonight, we've got a lot of, it's a new show, new characters, new cast. That means we've got a lot of new miniatures to paint for that new show. A whole new adventuring party. So we've got a few that we were working on before last week, if you remember. I had started on the prime for this guy right here. Who he is? Well, you'll have to tune in Monday the 10th at 6:30 to get an idea of who this bad boy is. But we're going to have a lot of fun painting this guy up now that he's been primed. A couple of the other cast or party members we've painted up on the show or maybe off air. We've got this person right here. What's up, Evil? Welcome aboard. We're just talking about the new show happening on Monday the 10th at 6:30 Eastern. We're going to be playing Bloodlords if you haven't heard. So that's going to be making their premiere, this character here. Then we also did a little work on this person right here. Ooh, Sunshine, what's happening? Great, Eva. I can't wait to see you there. I'm looking forward to it. He's got this kind of black, leathery jacket on with this red dress. Thank you, thank you. And then we'll put the finishing touches a little bit later on this person. Wow, okay, I guess that is must be a place of honor, yeah, because the ear tags are how you ID your livestock, right? Yeah, this one was a pretty fun sculpt to paint as well. She's going to be pretty formidable. Who she is, again, you'll have to tune in at Monday the 10th at 6:30 to find out. In the meantime, we've got a new model to work on. This character right here. It's a very dynamic, very interesting pose. with a lot of really cool spell effects. Look at that. That is just badass. Just the priming this model, I got really excited to paint this. What a great sculpt. What a great design. Lots of interesting fiddly bits to play with. So let's get started. Let's have fun with this model. I'm almost slipping and calling by his name because I know his name. But I can't let it go because you're just going to have to see on the show who it is. Yeah, when you get to be our age, evil, our birthdays become less and less priority, right? Maybe we don't really want to face birthdays. I got one coming up in there pretty soon as well. How old I'll be, I'll never tell. Or maybe I will at 6:30 Monday the 10th. We'll see. Anyway, let's get started on this guy here. He's got a lot of really cool details, like I was saying. We've got a lot of bones and skulls on the base. And yes, just another year, another trip around the sun. Let's get working on this base here. I'm a little bit hoarse, but we'll get through this. Just get some water and we'll get going. But man, I am super pumped to play this game. I'm super pumped to see these characters in action. I hope you are too. As always, when we're painting skeletons, my go-to color is Army Painter's Speed Paint Pallid Bone. I've probably gone through 2 bottles of this stuff already. Well, be careful, sunshine. No chatting and driving. All right. I have a number of brushes that I can pick from. I want one with a really good tip to do this detail work on these skulls and stuff. Good thinking. So we're just going to apply the pallid bone everywhere there is these little skeletal bits. Everywhere there are skeletal bits. I don't know. Lots of bones. So Bloodlords is a Paizo Publishing adventure path. Adventure paths are pre-published stories, pre-published adventures set in Pathfinder's campaign setting of Golarion. It's a very rich, vast world. Lots of nations with various themes. We're going to be playing in the nation of Geb, which is a nation ruled and largely populated by the undead. So there's going to be some really interesting dark themes in this show that we're very much looking forward to exploring. Slightly different flavor from our flagship show, if you would, Soul Severed campaign. Soul Severed is a homebrew campaign set in Iota Dree, which is in its own right a very vast world with lots of different nations and various themes and very cool settings. But that one is the brainchild of our GM and seer, who's worked very hard over the years to create this world with her friends and fellow gamers. And it's been a great pleasure to get to play in that world as Barnabas. So I'm looking forward to seeing what happens as we continue that Soul Severed campaign. But man, I am also very much looking forward to how things look in the nation of Geb. All right, so we've got those skeletal elements on the base painted in. So we'll let that dry for a little bit. What's up, Harold? When people gotta eat, I'm glad you can make it. The next piece I'm going to work on this model is some of the skin tone. I'm going to pull up my reference photo of this particular model to make sure I'm painting this exactly how the player wants them to look. It is, after all, a representation of somebody important to them. For this skin, it's a very pale skin, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take Army Painter's Peachy Flesh, and I'm going to do a 1-to-1 dilution, basically 1 drop to 1 drop with Speed Paint Medium to thin it out. And what that'll do is that'll kind of lighten up the pigment in the speed paint and make this a really nice kind of pale flesh. So we'll do that on a 1-to-1 basis. We'll do 1 drop of speed paint, 1 drop of medium. Speed paint medium is what allows the formulation of speed paint to flow the way it does, to let those heavier pigments work their way into the deeper parts of the model and the brighter, lighter pigments stay on the top, creating a gradient of shadow to highlight in one brush stroke. Okay, so I've mixed up my flesh tone, and when it goes on, it's going to look kind of tan, but as it dries, it'll lighten up. This dude's got some muscles for being some sort of magic user. He's ripped. Okay, so that's the flesh on the arms there. Looks like he's also wearing some gloves, but the fingers are coming out of the gloves, so we'll get those with the our flesh tone as well. Just the fingertips coming out of this spell effect here. Okay, and on the reference art I have, yeah, in a way, they're heavy water. So the reference photo I have, it looks like there's skin underneath here. So we're just gonna very gently, using the tip of the brush, let my skin tone go into that opening in this interesting chess piece here. So we've got our fingertips, we've got our biceps, our pythons, And we've got this little opening in the chest plate here. All right. Already this model is coming along, kind of coming to life over this Slapchop Prime here. Okay, with speed paints, the trick is to paint your bright light colors first and then your dark colors, because if you mess up with your dark colors and they end up going where your light colors are supposed to be, the paints are pretty translucent, so you will see dark paint through light colors. So we're going to try to avoid that by painting our light colors first. Okay. Now the trick is to find the right color of blue for this for these rules. And for light kind of electric blue, I have a couple choices here. The first one is this plasmatic bolt, which is kind of like a magic missile blue. But to me, I don't know, this might be a little too greenish for what we're shooting for here. So let's play around with something else. Pastel Seafoam actually comes out a very nice bright electric blue. We might combine the two and see what we get. Before I go putting experimental colors on the miniature I'm working on, I'll put it on a test model first, just to see how it comes out. It's not quite the color I want. This is a challenge, but a challenge I'm happy to accept. I'm going to play with some colors in my palette for a little bit. Hey, Jinx. Thanks for popping in. Oh, let's... Oops. This one really needs the pigment mixed up in it. I don't think that's going to do it. Yes. Special episode of Villain's View tonight. While I'm working on finding this perfect color. Paint. I'm going to have to experiment some more. So let's work on the blacks here. This guy is going to have some black robes, so we'll use our grim black. We're just going to make sure I'll probably have to use regular acrylic for the trim, because the color on this particular design, my speed paints are not replicating the color I want. And that's fine, because with the 2.0 speed paint line, once they are dry, you can paint on top of them just like a regular acrylic. So we're just going to lay in our blacks for right now. Just being very careful to keep that trim nice. Not a lot of texture and fiddly bits on this model. We've laid in the black breastplate, and now we've got black robes. Ooh, this one's a doozy. Lots of detail. Alright, this character also has black gloves. Right, for the base, we'll go back to working on the base now that those bones have dried pretty well on the base. We can start working and filling in the green grass portion. Looks like there's a few stones on the base as well. Let's start with that grass. Vegetation, whatever that is. Hmm. Because of the slap chop priming, all the shadows between the blades of grass are already kind of primed out for us. So as we put this paint on, you'll see that the shadows are already starting to form in that grass, and the highlights are staying on top, making every individual leaf kind of pop off on the base. It's really cool. Alright, just like that we got the vegetation on the base painted in. When that dries down, that'll be a kind of a bright green. Now we've just got a few rocks to kind of fill in. Grab a new palette here to work with. Alright, for our stones on the base, we're going to use Gravelord Grey. Yeah, well, I noticed that too. Yep, they are everywhere. That bottle of Gravelord Grey is almost running out. We use this to fill in our stones. Go. All right. This character does have some purple on them, like a purple hood and purple kind of robe underneath. And if I look at my reference cap here, see if this is the kind of purple I want to match. It's pretty close. This one's a bit of more of a royal purple here. I think what we're going to do is we'll go with this moody mauve. This will come out a nice bright purple for the hood. Which, based on the reference picture, this is looks like the color scheme we're going for. And then on the sculpt, we have that same purple is showing up underneath the breastplate, like this robe is actually kind of underneath this black. So we have this right here. It's this tiny little segment. And then showing through the robes here is a little section of their pants or the robe underneath here. So that's purple. Okay. Now it looks like this model has a Plague Doctor mask on. That is kind of a rich dark leather color, it looks like. You can zoom in on that mask real quick. Oh yeah, that's like a leather. Okay. So to achieve that, we're going to do a 1-to-1 mix of hardened leather from the Speedpaint 1.0 line with a bit of dark wood to kind of darken up, enrich that leather. So let's take up our paint. One drop of hard leather, just a tiny bit actually of this dark wood. We don't want to overwhelm the hard leather. Okay, there we go. He's a very interesting sculpt for sure. I just really want to get that bright electric blue color we're seeing on the reference photo. Trying to figure out how I'm going to recreate that. I've got some ideas. I have some paint so you pull this off. It probably won't be speed paint though. Okay, Plague Doctor mask. Get that really nice texture of the top of the mask. And we can just make out the lenses for the eyes there. Okay. Get this black row there. Just to fill that in. Okay. Okay. You think so? All right. Well, that's fine. We can play around. I've got some ideas here for the spell effect because it's kind of a multicolored spell effect. So we're going to play around with some colors here. I'm just going to find the one I want to play with. Yes. Okay. So I think for the bottom of the spell effect that's kind of coming up out of the hands here, where you have like this really cool skull, we'll start off with a little bit of purple alchemy from the Speed Paint 1.0 line. Now the label makes it look like it's pink, but it's really not. It's kind of a purplish color. But we'll put that on there for now, and then we'll darken it down with some real purple. And we can play around with Speed Paint 1.0 and blend it, which is a cool effect of the reactivation of 1.0 Speed Paint. We just want to do kind of the bottom part of the mini here where it's like more flamey with this purple alchemy here. Let's make sure we're staying close to the reference paint here. Look at the other skull real quick. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Okay, so while this is still wet, what we're going to do is go in with our purple that we had from earlier. And let's do a little playing around here where we're going to blend in darker purple at the bottom of these flames. So we have like a gradation, a blending from the dark purple magic effect up to that purple alchemy. Don't want to overwhelm the alchemy, but just enough to create a gradient. There we go. And now the skulls. We're going to do with Plasmatic Bolt. Actually, no. Okay. Yeah. And then when this plasmatic bolt dries, I'll paint over it with a brush on clear coat, and then I'll be able to paint over it with the highlight that we're going to use based on the reference photograph. Creating this gradient of this kind of magic skull with some kind of yellowy vitality magic coming off of them to represent the balance of death and life. It's super cool. Hey, sometimes when you paint, you gotta do your best to match. But this guy is starting to come together, I think. Pretty cool. I think I can. Okay, I've got some ideas for the rest of the model. But we are running out of time, guys, because we need to head over to Elite Encounters right now to catch the 6 o'clock start of Villain's View. So until then, I'll catch you guys on Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern to paint some more models. Be sure to check out the new show Monday at 6:30 Eastern on the 10th. Bounce on over right now to the Elite Encounters channel and watch that Villain's View. We're going to find out what's happening with Sibril and his companions, his erstwhile companions. Oh, it's going to be 6:30 for Villain's View? Is that getting some other things set up? Well, that's fine. If that's the case, we can take our time a little bit here and talk a little bit more about, yes, Eastern Time. So again, that show coming up on March 10th, that's going to be the premiere of the brand new campaign, the brand new Pathfinder Adventure Path Bloodlords, set in the undead nation of Geb. We've got all new characters, all new cast, along with some of your old favorites. I myself will be the host and GM of that show. I'll be behind the screen telling the story, rolling the dice, and challenging the characters, maybe killing the characters. I don't know. Nah, probably not. You never know. We'll see. The dice tells the story. We'll just have to see what happens. But we've got a lot of fun plans for this show. We're very excited about bringing you a new story with new characters in a new setting. The Pathfinder campaign setting of Galarian that I think some of us are familiar with. And I'm very much looking forward to being the GM for that. My voice is running out, though, so I'm going to go ahead and we're going to end at the normal time. Hey, no worries. Have a great time over there. Be sure to bounce over to the Elite Encounters channel at 6:30. In the meantime, we got a half hour. Maybe grab a sandwich, grab a snack, grab a beer, grab a soda, a drink, whatever you want, and head on over there and check them out. I'm going to take a little break myself and then bounce on over to the show. And oh no, I gotta go. Bye.